Dude, I kept looking at you trying not to laugh, and I was like, this is good. It's just
For anybody watching, I was just laughing underground.
What's up? My name is Cory Bergeron. You are watching Cory Bergeron Recordings. Before we jump into this video, I just want to say hello to all the new subscribers that have recently joined the community. The last video I put out seemed to resonate pretty well among the audio community, and there was a lot of conversation and discussion that occurred across multiple platforms, and that's exactly why I create these videos. So that was really, really cool. So welcome, thank you for subscribing, commenting, liking, all that good stuff. It really does go a long way, so I just wanted to say thank you, and I hope you stick around for a little bit. Alright, so when a band or an artist approaches me to have me produce or work on their music, the first thing I do is I ask for a demo. Sometimes they'll send me a Pro Tools session or a Logic session, and other times I will receive an iPhone recording of the band or artist playing their song in a jam space or something. Either way, in this day and age, everyone has access to some sort of technology to be able to document a rough version of their song and then send it via the internet to me. For most of us, this has been a possibility the entire time that we've been creating music. But that wasn't always the case. So with that being said, let me introduce to you the Fostex Tube 60.
Det här är faktiskt en 4-kanalsstudio med 6 ingångar. Fostex 260, 4-kanals multitracker. 2 separata filter, även här lite extra. Plus minus 15 decibel. Dolby C naturligtvis. Dubbel hastighet, variabel hastighet och räkneverk med 2 minnen. Unik panorering mellan alla 4 kanalerna. Priset 9300. Kontakta din musik.
So this 4-track cassette recorder was purchased by my father in the mid-1980s. As mentioned, it has 4 channels, each with a preamp that you can access via the 1/4-inch input on the front. Each channel has a pan knob and 2 EQs. Also, at the top of each channel, there are 2 separate mono aux sends that you can send and return from via RCA. This unit is also equipped with Dolby NR. NR stands for noise reduction. My father told me that this technology was state of the art at the time. What it does is it simply reduces the amount of noise and hiss, which is basically unavoidable, simply due to the recording medium, which is recording to a cassette. So this is a little fuzzy, but I believe my father once mentioned that he paid upwards of $1,200 Canadian for it back in the mid-80s. Keep in mind that $1,200 now is way different than $1,200 back then, so that was probably a pretty hefty investment. He bought it with the purpose of being able to record and demo songs with his band, and I've been begging him for countless years to play with it and borrow it for a little bit, and as you can probably assume, he has finally let me, since I'm making this video. Now, personally, I like to collect quirky old recording devices, whether it's just like a cassette voice recorder or a reel-to-reel consumer-grade recording unit. The reason why I like collecting these quirky old units is because I use them to create unique sounds on the records that I record. And those sounds vary from maybe recording a guitar part normally and then playing it back through the speakers and recording it into maybe a crappy cassette player or something like that, and then panning the real guitar left and then the cassette recording right, just to give it some wacky sound for one specific part. I don't know, it sounds cool and it's interesting and it's a fun little experience to do with bands and stuff. Going back to the Fostex unit here, it would be a shame if I used it just to make quirky sounds because it still is fully functional. My dad has kept it operational over the years, so I wanted to use it the way that you would have used it in the 1980s. My goal was to record a song with it. For this experiment, I needed a song and I needed a performer, so I got the manliest person I know, named Brian Stephenson, and I got him to lay down one of his original acoustic songs. For this experiment, I didn't want to do anything elaborate, I just wanted to use the unit. There is no post EQ, post compression, or any sort of post production on this. We recorded it and I guess mixed it on the unit and sent the output of the unit into Pro Tools and just recorded the track so we could have a digital version of it so we could sync it to the video and put it in this video. To be completely transparent, the only level of production that I guess we added outside of the acoustic guitar, Brian's voice, a microphone, and the Fostex 260 was we used a reverb guitar pedal on Brian's voice. We went microphone into the reverb pedal, out of the reverb pedal into the recording unit just to create a little bit of ambience on his voice. So without further ado, I am going to show you what we recorded, again live off the floor, and then we will go from there.
What's going on? My name's Brian. I'm recording analog with Papa C. I met this girl from across the world that makes me smile from ear to ear. I said, Penny, won't you take my hand and walk with me, my dear? I will give you all the best of me. eyes and straw hair. Took some time for me to realize that there was nothing there, but I won't let that get the best of me. Time will tell just what is meant to be. I'll hail the fool who fell in love again, crown him king for every try, ever falling so triumphantly, who never lets them die.
Whoa, okay, so we just recorded one of Brian's songs, and now I'm preparing, let me flip this around, I'm preparing to bounce it down from here into Pro Tools. Oh. Into Pro Tools in the other room. So let's give this a shot. I've just rewinded it. Now if I press play, it should be playing.
Ooh, I hear it.
And it should be playing on this side. Alright, so there wasn't much to that. Brian simply played a song and we recorded it super straightforward. I will leave a link down below to the full song so you can see the full performance. I figured for the sake of time to just put a small excerpt of his performance in this video. Okay, so let's talk about the process of recording it, because I faced a couple challenges that I might not normally face if I was recording with the tools I normally use in a modern production digital world. Naturally, the human voice is a dynamic instrument, and Brian is a very dynamic singer. This means that even within the context of one song, he'll be singing super quietly, super gently, and then he'll be belting out super loud. This made setting the preamp gain a little tricky, as there's no onboard compressor with the Fostex unit, so I couldn't combat the dynamics of his voice. On top of this, we are battling signal to noise ratio, which isn't something I commonly have to address in the modern production world. And to be completely honest, this cassette deck is noisy. Even with the Dolby noise reduction that I mentioned previously in the video engaged, there's still like a ton of hiss and noise in the recording. I did my best to juice the preamp to get maximum signal, but this led us to having the preamp clip by the end of the song when Brian really starts digging in. It is what it is. We'll chalk it up to some sort of creative decision or artistic choice. Another challenge that I faced was it's tough to get a track to be loud. And by loud, I mean the same volume as a commercial track. It's no secret that music these days is loud. Since the goal was to do no post-processing, I basically just cranked the output of the cassette deck to a point where when it peaked and got to the highest output, it still wasn't clipping the digital converters, and that's kind of where I printed the final mix. You could certainly ride the faders and try and manipulate the dynamics of the individual tracks as well as the master output of it to maximize volume, but for this specific experiment and instance, it doesn't really matter. We were going for an organic production. We'll call it a production. Anyways, I wanted to create a short little video just documenting this little unique piece of history, especially while it's still functional. Using a tool like this after years and years and years of recording on a computer in a modern digital world is equally as refreshing as it is frustrating. I still have yet to figure out how to install Stephen Slate Trigger and Melodyne on it, but I'll save that for another video. I even found for myself that recording a demo on it totally changed my approach to writing music, as you have a finite amount of tools. You focus less on making something perfect and you focus less on the sonic elements of it. I can honestly say that I don't think you could make a modern recording on a unit like this for a million different reasons, but the big one is like the hiss on it is horrendous, even with the Dolby noise reduction engaged. You have 4 tracks. If you want to do anything more than that, you have to bounce it down to 1 track, and then the degradation and added noise starts to come through. You just can't do it. Anyways, this is where I'm going to wrap up the video, so I hope this was interesting, maybe a little refreshing, and thought-provoking for you. If you enjoyed the video, please join myself and our little community here in reaching the goal of 10 million subscribers. We are well on our journey, and you're more than welcome to join. If you have any questions, observations, or you just want to tell me your deepest, darkest secrets, you can do so in the comment section below. Be sure to leave a like on the video, as it tells the almighty YouTube algorithm that you like the video, and it'll be more inclined to show other people the video. Lastly, if you're interested in joining a Facebook group, there's a link to it below. Please join the community, ask some questions, start a conversation, and let's all learn something new. Thank you very much again for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.